I've been making signs for Jake, essentially, since he was winning state championships at Damascus. So it's cool to see him have such great success.
Funk Mania is real in Damascus.
I'm hoping that I can make some Super Bowl champion signs.
Pretty cool having a guy from your hometown playing in the biggest sporting event of the year.
To know that somebody from your high school can, do something like that, it gives a lot of us motivation.
The tight-knit community of Damascus loves its football, so understandably, it's a special week for the town and LA Rams running back Jake Funk, one of its own, getting ready to play in the Super Bowl on Sunday.
It's just amazing to see people rallying behind me who've supported me ever since I was a high school, even a youth football player.
From Damascus to Maryland to a special rookie year in LA.
And I went from being a college kid to then coming to one of the biggest media markets, playing for one of the most prestigious organizations in the NFL.
Learning valuable lessons.
The way Cooper Kupp works, the way Matthew Stafford works, the way Aaron Donald works. These guys who are at the top of the league right now and how they come into work day in and day out is just something that I've been able to just feed off of.
And living his dreams.
It's something that I've dreamed about since I was a little kid. And words can't even describe it right now because it's just going to be just a moment of just pure joy. Everything you've put into this sport and being at the absolute pinnacle of the sport, you never really thought could happen, but it's here.
Jake Funk's remarkable journey continues with Super Bowl 56 on Sunday. Reporting in Damascus, Alex Flum, WDVM 25 Sports. Sherwood High School exchange student junior Daria Skochenko came to America in August. She ran cross country in the fall. She watches movies with her host family in Sandy Spring on Friday nights. And in the spring season now, she's on the gymnastics team. But her experience as a Ukrainian exchange student comes at a time of uncertainty for her country as the Russian invasion continues. Standing in solidarity with Ukraine.
Our hearts, they're just hoping everything turns out okay.
Sherwood High School's gymnastics team has been playing the Ukraine national anthem and displaying a flag before their meets. One of their own, exchange student Daria Skochenko is from Ukraine.
Це означає, що людям не все одно. І мені важливо, щоб люди знали про ситуацію в моїй країні і щоб вони сприймали мене як амбасадора моєї культури і взагалі України.
Like any exchange student, Daria misses her family, her parents, and her little brother.
I miss them a lot. Sometimes I'm thinking about our evenings together, playing games or reading books or just talking about everything in the world. It's really sad that I will not experience this in a long time now.
Daria was supposed to go home in May, but as war rages on at home, she's applied for temporary protected status, an 18-month extended stay in America.
We'll see what happens next. We don't know yet.
Daria's hometown, Hlukhiv, is just 10 miles from the Russian border.
Our town was bombed in the first day of the war. Сложно быть тут самой. Хотя у меня есть хорошая хост-семья, которая поддерживает меня постоянно.
In a time of tragedy, Daria has been able to tell her new friends here her favorite thing about Ukraine.
You can be whoever you want, actually now. It's free, democratic country.
Hoping her message goes beyond Sherwood.
It's important for American people and for people all around the world to keep talking about Ukraine, to be aware of what's going on and try to help and trying to stop it as soon as possible.
Waiting for the day she can reunite with her family and give them a big hug.
Я не знаю, чи я выживу. После встречи с ними у меня будет, наверное, heart attack.
Such an incredible young lady. I know her family in Ukraine is so proud of her, and her community and family here in Sherwood, Montgomery County, and the DMV proud as well. Daria volunteers at a local Ukrainian school on Saturdays. She's also creating a GoFundMe to try and raise money to help Ukrainian families and soldiers. You'll be able to read more about her on localdvm.com later tonight. Stringing a tennis racket is second nature to Ivy Smith.
I get in a zone, I'll listen to music. I grew up with this, and this was actually my dad's.
Originally from the Philippines, Ivy's father, Bert Jose, opened a tennis and fitness store in Northern Virginia in the early 1970s. At a young age, Ivy learned from her father.
I think I caught on a little bit quicker. He didn't really have any help, so I was his helper. When I got older, you know, he would teach me how to string.
After about a half century in the business, Ivy's father decided it was time to call it a career.
He was trying to get rid of the business, and I was there helping him clean up, pack stuff away, and I'm like, no, I want to take it over.
But taking over the business is a big step for Ivy too. She's just a decade removed from a stroke.
Just opened up my eyes to realize like how resilient I still am, and I'm self-motivated. I want to push through things. So I figured, I saw kind of myself in my dad, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm still here. I can still push it out and work hard and try to bring the legacy a little bit longer. And hopefully my kids can take over.
Keeping it in the family. Blazing a trail. Carrying on a legacy. Just like stringing a tennis racket.
Hey.
It's all second nature to Ivy. Peg Keeler built up the Quince Orchard girls soccer program. She's led the Cougars to a pair of state titles, doing whatever it takes to lead her team from the sidelines.
On your toes from the start, Black!
I think to this whole community, she means a lot. Like, if you hear Peg Keeler, you're like, that woman is special.
You have to have a hand to shake.
Soccer at QO has always been her baby. It's our third child, basically.
9, 10, 11.
She scheduled her C-section around the playoffs, so she would have a first-round bye so she could coach still.
Peg Keeler has led the Quince Orchard High School girls varsity soccer program for 24 years.
So many changes in the last couple of years, and it's nice to have a normal season. We're going to push the tempo, we're going to push the pace.
Peg has never missed a game.
Win every 50-50 ball.
She almost did last season.
My initial diagnosis when I found out I had cancer was September 7th. It was 2 days before our first game. I just found out it was stage 4 because it had metastasized to the liver.
At first, I was like, I just didn't understand. I was like, no, like, I didn't believe it. And then when I looked around and I saw everybody, I was like, wow, like we all were so sad. It was like a really sad, hard thing to hear. Peg found out the cancerous mass could be removed and remained resilient through her battle.
I knew that as long as I was able to, that I would be coaching.
In 2021, she coached her team to the state semifinals.
She kept everything pretty hidden. I mean, just the tiredness, the pain, doctor's appointments, juggling 2 kids who were both playing soccer at the school. Watching them play and trying to get to practice, it was difficult. But she always finds a way for things to work out.
What Peg was going through, like coming to soccer was her joy, and it was like her escape from it. So if we could bring her any kind of pride and happiness, like we had to do it. And so it brought us so much stronger and closer. In the spring, Peg found out that she was cancer-free.
I hope it let them know that they can fight through anything, and that's we talk about that all the time. We're always going to have obstacles in soccer and in life, and we're just going to work hard and get through them. And I was able to not just talk about it last year, but actually demonstrate it.
Last year, the team got wristbands that said #PegStrong and make cancer flinch first. After defeating cancer, Peg can focus on her team, defeating opponents, and trying to win another state championship.
Last year, even at the end of the season, I wasn't sure how things were going to go because I still had radiation to do and surgery and more chemo, through the winter and spring, and just, being able to come back with, no evidence of cancer left and being able to be on my feet, it's a great feeling.
Not only has she been a tremendous coach for 24 years, she has done so much for this program and has really built it up to be an amazing program, and she was able to beat cancer while doing it, so it just truly shows you how great and strong she is.
Make them flinch first. Yeah. All right, let's go do it.
Gotta love that slogan, make them flinch first and make cancer flinch first. Now, Peg tells me her biggest message from this story is that everyone should make sure to go and get a colonoscopy when they're supposed to get checked. So if you have colon cancer, you can find something early so you don't have to go through what she faced. Such an inspiration, and congrats to her and her program on all of their success and the success that's to come. A lifelong Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Mick Lacey has also spent his life serving his country, working in and with the military. Now the veteran is facing his toughest challenge yet.
I followed football, but didn't have a team. But I noticed all my buddies, all these favorite teams, like, oh, I love the Cowboys, and I said, well, yeah, I don't really like the colors.
Mick Lacey loves the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I like the black and yellow. So I looked around and said, oh, wow, look. The Steelers. Didn't know anything about them.
A native of upstate New York, Mick served in the Army for 25 years as a paratrooper, jumping out of airplanes.
I have a lot of pride in the military. And I'm not just Army brands, I'm talking the military.
For the past 2 decades, Mick has continued serving his country, working counterterrorism in Germany, Afghanistan, and Italy. As a result, he's had to watch his beloved Steelers at some strange hours.
We watch the games at all hours of the night. Sometimes the game might finish at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and then my husband was off to work.
In May of this year, Mick started experiencing headaches. After going in and out of hospitals in Italy, where he lived, and Germany, he was transported by Medevac to Walter Reed in Bethesda.
Started linking it with a lot of other stuff like pancreatic cancer, thyroid cancer, lung cancer, and then told me things like, no, we've never seen this before. I think we know 20 cases like this. We've never seen these cancers linked like this. You have 2.5 months to live.
The former paratrooper facing his toughest challenge yet, stage 4 pancreatic cancer with tumors on his brain, lungs, and entire body.
I've had enough injuries. Never been sick in my entire life. That's the fact. This is just, it hits you like a ton of bricks.
Continuing to fight like a soldier on the battlefield, Mick has already made it more than 2 weeks past the doctor's prognosis.
Well, we went beyond that. I'm looking at being their cancer miracle baby.
Mick has been joined in the fight by his family unit, flocking to the family's temporary home in Maryland. They all watched the Steelers take down the Bengals on Sunday.
We've never had the entire family to watch the Steelers play before, and we had everyone here, including the grandchildren. So I think that was really meaningful for all of us, but especially for him.
Mick's friends serving the country overseas joined the party virtually.
We were having a Guinness party on Zoom. Of course, they're watching the game at 7 o'clock at night. We're watching at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So. And I think at the highest point, we probably had 10 people on there.
Whether it's another game or a visit to the Steelers Stadium, the family is hoping to take Mick to Pittsburgh for the first time.
I think it would be really fun. I think, yeah, it would just be super fun.
We want to help him keep living, giving him things that he enjoys to reach for, to look forward to. Just so that we can live every day to the fullest. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have been so important to him. So that's really where that comes from.
Dad,
yeah, get the Steelers.
Hold it up. That is so cool. Show it to me.
That's good. Well, it was great talking to Mick and his family today. And to clarify a little more, his daughter and his wife were trying to take him to a Steelers game, and they're trying to figure out a way to get him handicap accessible tickets where they can bring all 4 of their kids and their grandchildren as well, but they're, I guess, encountering another issue where with his condition, loud noises are tough for him to deal with. So they're figuring out if they're going to even be able to go to a game, but if they don't go to a game, I think they're hoping they can at least get him to Pittsburgh, because he's a lifelong Steelers fan. He's never been to a Steelers game in Pittsburgh. He's never even been to Pittsburgh. He said he went to 1 game in Cincinnati once. So he's hoping to do that, and just seems like an absolutely awesome guy, and our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, of course, here.
Absolutely. We got to get this man, we got to get him to a Steelers game, for sure.